Hey there, Internet. That was probably a fun note. Hey there. Did a little bit of cleaning. Do you appreciate my cleaner background? We're not going to look at that mostly, though. I'm going to do some more inking. Get back to working on this page that I started yesterday. I had a fun morning. How about you? Don't mind while I move my gear around. I turned 50 soon. September. That brings with it all sorts of fun doctor stuff. Changes of lifestyle and things. But enough of that. I'm going to go open the chat. What's new with all you? There's usually one or two of you watching by now. I know you're out there. I see your stats. Channel. Right. See, there's two of you watching, it says. Maybe it's counting me. I don't know. See, there's two of you watching. So I have to put my headphones on again. Which is fine, because I have my own stuff I want to listen to. Without dealing with... Oh, I should get some water. Demonetization and things. Be right back. This in. Mischief. Well, no, not right now. But I'll put it there on the side so don't forget about it. I always talk to my students about stretching before you work. I don't know that I've ever talked that much about it here. Hey, AB. 5 of you watching now. Well, how about that? And a like. Thank you. I haven't even done anything yet. All right. Hey, I just got some... Here we go. I teach part-time. I don't know if you know that. At SimStudio, Montreal, but these days online, virtually. SimStudio.ca. You can take our classes from anywhere right now, and I just got an update from work. Regular registration for the fall term ends in 1 week. So if you want to take one of our courses, I teach, what am I doing this? Intro to Cartooning. I'm doing Intro to Cartooning next semester. Only one class. There we are. No, that's Intro to Character Design. There we go. Intro to Cartooning. Nice bit of student work they picked. I approve. Here, I think I can show you this. Let me see. I want to open this in a new window. Yes, email in your browser. You nosy guys, stay out of my Is it that one? It is. I like that. So there you go. This is here, let's make that bigger. I like the inset, but you guys need to be able to read this. There we are. So the schools, with the art boot camp, we specialize in concept art and design. Analytical sketching is actually something I've thought about taking to brush up myself. I've taken a few of our courses just to revisit stuff that I studied now like 30 years ago. And I practice, and you're always studying. That's the thing. That's how I've ended up being an instructor too. But just so, more like 2 years ago, I took our advanced anatomy class because I felt like I'd fallen in the habit of winging it on a few things. So it's a good refresher. Yeah, it's a cool program. So if you want to check it out, you can check that out. Let's close that now. And let's get to the work. I do have an Instagram, I believe. Let me check just to verify. Indeed, you will find it in my description text near the bottom. There is a link to my Instagram. And pretty much, all the things, including my Patreon and my personal website, my Twitter, Facebook, and extraneous other things. There's a link to SimStudio in there as well. And all the stuff. I try to be thorough. Oh, that's funny. This is something I probably shouldn't put on here. I like the comic. My friend and mentor Ty Templeton. I found this in my flat files and scanned it. It's pretty funny, but I think I'll not show all of it right now because I only just sent it to him. I don't know if he wants it on the internet again. That's his call. So I've been working on my stuff in layers. I know that before I start, I want to knock this one back a little bit. Yeah, gonna work in gray for that layer. That is the plan. And now I'm also thinking very strongly about, I'm using the Zipaton, the modern version of it, which is a super cool thing that I like about this program. And I think I'm going to do some knockout. So first, let's see if this works quickly. Apply, collect on the all layers. No, that's add to selection. What is it? Where's the all layers? Prefer multiple. Yes, there we go. Multiple layers. Gotta use your own wording and everything, eh? Let's maybe you just turn that off. I forget now. If I turn that on and go higher, does it get? Yes, touchier. So probably better off. Let's just do that trick that I know from Photoshop. Oh, there we go. Maybe I don't want multiple in which case. Oh, but no, it will. So let's just get rid of the pencils. There we go. There's the smart move. Duh. That would have been the thing I should have done the first time. I figured it eventually. That's nice. And so that looks like most everything. Expand selected areas. I don't know how many pixels that is. It's try 3. Oh yeah, there we go. Well, I think that might be good enough. I'll have to do some touching up. There. So I used to cut zip-a-tone by hand. Some nostalgia. I know how to kind of simulate it, use the halftone filter to create a dot grid. Monochrome dot grid. But it is not the same thing. I'm going to make a... So I have to do this multiple times. Going to make me some flat files. Oops, hey, no. Where's that supply for multiple? No, there we go. Perfect. Some guides. I can do that if I change my mind about these dots with a different size dot. Whoa, hey, what now? Do I have to rasterize that? That would make sense, but let me just try it one more time. Copy. Yeah, it appears I do. Does that mean I can make the dots a bit smaller? Well, it's too late. I've already trimmed stuff. Yeah. So, no. I'm going to duplicate it in case I want to undo this. Rasterize that. Copy my bots. There we go. This is what I want. Now, let's try Snap Eraser. Yeah, I'm going to want do that again with the smaller dots, but that's cool. too much. I want it to be a little bit organic, so I'm letting some slop get through intentionally. Too big. I'm not looking for perfect. In fact, I've always liked that slight irregularity in my work that comes from a little bit imperfect. I'm going to want to do a darker pass as well, but I think that's an interesting thing that will work. So I'm going to duplicate and rasterize that one, and let's make a folder for all these. Oops. Tone sheets. And all three of these go there. Oops, missed the mark. There we go. And I want that in there too, because I'll use it with them. Green, select my green. No, not all layers. Refer to multiple. No, not all layers. There we go. Deselect. Eraser. I'm thinking I still might draw the rafters, but I wanted to do this first because I'm thinking I might use it predominantly to describe this space. This one there. Wrong layer. There we go. like the combination. So, to point out, like, I'm not trying to do perfect as a rule in my work, especially with stuff like it's going to read further back, and I want to be a little rough. But also, when I notice, like, this beam's very wide, so I did the edge that we can see, I cut in, whereas here I added 2, and it gets it a lot closer to being the same. For something that's going to be very tiny in the final art, and so not that important, not worth redrawing, but I can tweak it at this stage and modify it, get it a little closer to where I want it to be, and to the point where if I wasn't pointing it out to you, it probably wouldn't be a big thing you would notice. I mean, it depends on how snickety you are as a person. Not to put it all on you, but you know. What's happening, chat? Hey, hi Arna. This is Clip Studio. It's very lightweight running, I'm finding, which I like. Photoshop was something I was phasing out anyway, and I started finding it also just the old version I have of it just doesn't run very stably anymore. I've tried reinstalling it, so I think it's just the software is technically still compatible with my computer, but past its due date. And I don't want to pay for Adobe. Affinity's pretty good too, but I'm finding this much more intuitive. Well, everyone has to name stuff their own damn things. Like the whole, instead of for like selections, refer multiple is in place of select all, not select all layers, is it? I think it's select all layers is the language used in Photoshop. Am I on the right layer still? Uh-oh, I've moved to another layer. It's my guides. That's okay though. I can easily transfer that. Here's something I like about Clip Studio. I can select that area on this layer, cut it. So I believe this is that's the layer I wanted to be on. Paste above there. Also go to 64. Oops, 64%. And it perfectly put it in place. It remembered, whoops, no, that's not what I wanted to do. I want to deselect. It remembered where the thing was, so I was able to make that change quick. And now I can do this. The one on top will get the name. Merge selected and fixed. Oops. I need to bend a pencil. There we are. Oh, wait a minute. Oh. Merge selected did the opacity thing. So I want to unmerge those. Normalize my opacity. Merge them. And go back to 64. Close enough. All right. Go. I like the way it looks. I use pencil to shade in my work normally sometimes in the same sketchy kind of way. It's funny, I didn't think about it till just now, but these two characters they're not Mummy and Raven from Therefore Repent, but they kind of are, archetypically speaking. I don't necessarily have plans to do long-running narrative with these two either, though. But if I did, it would probably look a lot like what I would have done if I'd continued writing further installments of Therefore Repent. I didn't write the first one, just to contextualize that statement for those who don't know my book. I did it with Jim Monroe, so it's Jim Monroe's book or his story, that I then had the privilege of adapting. What we did is he wrote full prose, basically. So there were descriptions and things of what he would like to see at times, but it was much more him writing to me, and then me figuring out how to adapt that. I think it's sort of like, sometimes people refer to it as not screenplay, but just play format, I guess. Theatrical format, I don't know. There's a name for it. Play script? Manuscript? Anyway. It was a good opportunity for me to work on my own skills in the writing department too. Got to think out how I wanted to pace things more. I got the page breaks and rhythms and things. That's mostly me interpreting what Jim wrote. He didn't have any dictated. We kind of had I think we had a ballpark for our page count that I was trying to hit. I don't remember now how close, whether that was a thing that we did very scrupulously, or if I was able to set the final one myself. There was definitely a lot of stuff like I think Jim writes like someone who sees a film in his head. He described a lot of transitional and oops, hit the menu there. Movement that was sort of interesting, but not all of it was necessary. And with the economics of a comic page, there's a lot of stuff that I trimmed down. I And famously in the beginning, when you first see them in the house they squat in, that whole scene, the first page, Jim had written something that I could have done on one page, but it would have been like 16 panels. And it was just Raven going to the kitchen and getting some water before she sits down. And I still have it in there, but I trimmed it down in terms of the moments that I chose in the show. He had like very frank details. That was good though. Like I didn't have a problem with him writing that. It was actually great to work with because it gave me a lot to chew on and figure out and choose from. Excuse me. Getting a little hungry. Oh. Yes. Well, Arden is signed off, but yes, there is a program called Affinity. Arna is a very successful storyboard artist and director. She's directed a few things, but she recently just directed My Most Amazing Thing? Or The Most Amazing Thing? It's The Most Amazing Thing. The Most Amazing Thing? Is that it? The Most Magnificent Thing. There we go. The Most Magnificent Thing. Got it. So, just directed this short film. So if she's still watching, I'm going to embarrass her slightly, perhaps. Probably not. Arna's a pro. Where's my browser again? Window. There it is. Window Capture 2. So it would actually not be Window Capture 2, would it? It would be... There we go. There it is. So this is the trailer for it, and it's a kids animated thing. It's getting a fair number of awards, and it's Nelvana Studios, which is some flashbacks for both of us, and it's really cool. And also, by the way, she's my mother. That's my mom. And we've both worked in Nelvana Studios over the years. So there you go. That's enough of that. I work in the family business, you could say. Actually, don't much. Like, we do overlap a little bit. Not just my mother, too. So she married John Van Bergen. He's not my biological father, but I grew up from when I was 14, 15 with him around. And did not have the most parental relationship, but that's because I was pretty old and left home at 18. But it was interesting to... So amongst many of the people, my mother met him at Nelvana, and amongst a lot of the people there, they had an interest in comics. Both him and his brother, Anthony Van Bergen, made comics. And I hadn't quite decided I was going to make comics by the time I was even 18. I was definitely seriously looking at it, but I took another year or two, I'd say, to just sort of work on my work and develop a portfolio and learn about the industry and how the world worked. I thought, to some extent I did. Obviously, you continue to need to learn things, is what happens. And then also, you know, things change. There's been a lot of that going on. I was already very much a concept by the time I started my adult life. I'm a Gen Xer, and it was already like, oh yeah, these guys are going to have less healthy economies and stability than those boomers enjoyed. Oh boy. But it was still interesting to, so like, I remember talking to John a little bit about making comics and going to events. Like there was a launch, I remember a launch, I think, for Silent Invasion that I attended as a teenager, I want to say. I want to do a pair of gradients, I think. So let's go to our Zipatone files and gradient. I don't like these rainbow gradients. Just give me a flat gradient, guys. What is this? Why can I not see it? Mm-hmm. Oh, what's going on with that layer? Delete it. What is happening? I'm not sure. But I would like... Do I have to... Oh, that's the thing. Maybe that's the thing. Do I have to describe? No. That's okay. Oh, there we go. Interesting. All right. I see how this is working. Don't like that one though. Let's try another one. Maybe less of a dot. Yeah, possibly. Rasterize, and then I want my mask. Let's move this guy. That could be a bit more responsive. Oh, it's all, that's okay, that's interesting. I don't have that on. Haha. I now understand the logic. It's fairly logical, frankly. Turn you off, and I need to add missing bit. Dope. Let's update our color fill there. No, I want my green. There we are. So that's all updated. I can do that. Let's turn this off and do. There we go. Copy. we go. Digging it. Retro look with Zipatone. I have a sort of a tone sheet look on New Armageddon Blues as well, which is a similar genre piece to this. But I'm going to also have grays washes. I don't know. I'm doing it a different way. And I'll probably actually do them like this, but I will add the grays as well for it. It's a different thing there too, because I'm messing with the lines. That's gonna be pretty cool though. I'll get my paper recentered. There we go. So what I'll probably do is keep those tone sheets of the document and try to stick to them, because that way I'll have a bit of continuity to it. I might use a couple others, but it's like a palette. I don't want to use all the things. I am starvinginated, and it is coming up on 30. No, coming up on an hour. Perfect. 50 minutes. I will be back for another one of these, but until then, yeah, check out the description text. You'll see my Instagram and my Patreon if you want to become a student. I've got 2 students right now that I need to get back to outside of Patreon. Just signed on or agreed to teach, and I need to arrange meetings, and I have to do interviews, and I have to edit interviews. Oh my God, all the things. All right. Go get all the things done yourself.